and welcome once again to the opening round of the 2023 Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship. In our first instalment of TV highlights action, we brought you the super finals from our opening 3 classes. And in this programme, we'll be featuring the remaining 3 that are Micromax, Minimax and Senior Rotax. The international circuit here at Whilton Mill proves to be a great catalyst for some high-speed driving, plenty of action and lots of overtakes. So let's remind ourselves of that now. Well, first out on track then, it's the Micromax class, which this year is being raced under the UKC banner. And as always, it's attracted some very committed and enthusiastic young drivers, including last year's UKC O-Plate champion, Jensen Chalk, who'll be looking to take the overall win this year.
Hi, my name's Jensen. I've got the O-Plate on my car and I race in Micromax. I started when I was 5 in Coma Bambino, and we didn't think it would end up like it is now. But we are fighting for like championships now, so we're going to carry on racing for quite a long time, we hope. The UKC O-Plate was at Warden Law, and we managed to get away with the win after a tough battle. The Micromax is way bigger, way grippier. When I first moved up from cadet, it just felt way different in like grip-wise, and it's way faster and feels good. Whilton Mill is a very good track for overtaking. The big overtaking spots are probably into Christmas, into Ashby, and probably into the Boot.
Jensen, best luck for the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also new to UKC this year is Austin Oman, whose dad Tristan Oman was the Senior Rotax National Champion in 2002 and 2005. Earlier on, I had a chat with Austin to ask him if that winning streak runs in the family.
I'm Austin Oman. I'm number 16 and I race in Micromax. This weekend, my mechanics have been my dad, a little bit Jim and a little bit Lee. I think my family does have a winning streak because my dad came second in the world, and in Bambino, I always came second or first. Every time my dad went into a corner, he used to say 1, 2, 3. Which meant entry, apex, exit. Brake on the entry, turn in, then get your apex, then come out of the corner, ready for the next. I really like how much more challenging it is than Bambino. It has been harder.
Austin, very best luck for the weekend and thanks for talking to us. Well, best of luck to Austin and indeed all of the Micromax racers. Let's see how they get on as we go and join your race commentator, Jake Sansom.
Well, we could have the Circuit Watch winner in this final, depending on how it plays out. Jensen Chalk, Oliver Spencer, Colby Patterson, Theo Bradshaw. Let's see how it goes. Who is going to get the start off? To the starter's orders we go, and we are racing up to the first corner. Jensen Chalk hits the front, no problems at all. Theo Bradshaw mixes through in second place in front of Edward Haynes. So a great start already from Bradshaw as he now charges after the leader. So there's already big drama in this one. Jensen Chalk leading Bradshaw. Third position is the 133, that's Emerson McAndrew. But I couldn't quite make out who it was that has gone off the road in the background. There are certainly 2 drivers that are not moving, or one certainly that has not recovered. The other one I think has done so at the back of the field. So diving down to the inside line, Edward Haynes is going with Colby Patterson, going with Kian Barnard, I should say. So Kian Bernard has managed to get himself into 4th position. right on behind Emerson McAndrew. But Alex Goodson has not continued. He is the race retirement on the first lap. Very unfortunate indeed for him. Oliver Spencer having a tough race of it in the 42 as he tries to dive up the inside of Edward Haynes and gets through. So Oliver Spencer moves forward. Now, second position is Emerson McAndrew in front of Theo Bradshaw and behind Jensen Chalk. So Chalk leads, McAndrew second, then Bradshaw, Bernard, Spencer, Haynes, Patterson and Oman. Now, McAndrew's looking for the lead on Jensen Chalk, and he gets there. Emerson McAndrew moves up into the lead. An excellent start for Emerson McAndrew as he now hits the front here at Whilton Mill. And there goes Ollie Spencer looking for a move past Kian Bernard, and he's got there. So a good overtake from Oliver Spencer. So many drivers now with a chance to go for the win. Colby Patterson in 7th, Austin Oman in 8th position, Riley Murrow and Otis Cleary dive up the inside. There goes the move from Edward Haynes. Working very hard throughout, Kian Bernard and the 24 of Colby Patterson, I should say. Colby Patterson still working his way further forward, trying to get the move on Kian Bernard. But a very tough race in the offing as Edward Haynes has now got through past both drivers. Now, Jensen Chalk is trying to protect from Theo Bradshaw, whilst also go on the offensive to Emerson McAndrew. They've got to be careful how much time they lose here. What if Theo Bradshaw could come through for the win in both finals? He's there in 3rd, certainly looking very strong. Some great performances so far in this weekend, but the 24 still going strong. Colby Patterson looking good, looking very strong. Austin Oman trying to get the move here on Riley Murrow, hoping for an opportunity or two, but it is going to be pretty tricky. Emerson McAndrew still holds the lead. Jensen Chalk in 2nd from Bradshaw, Spencer, Haynes and Patterson, and off the road goes Otis Cleary. Otis Cleary drops off the road. He manages to recover, but that has cost him any chance of the top 10 as Lush and Cormac both squeeze through, I do believe. So there goes the chances of the top 10 for Otis Cleary. Meanwhile, Patterson has got past Spencer and Haynes. So Colby Patterson now in 4th position. So here comes the leading squad. 6 drivers. Haynes now going for Spencer, up to 5th position. So 5th position for the 43, that is Edward Haynes. A really solid performance. And still the contenders doing battle. Emerson McAndrew, Jensen Chalk, and Theo Bradshaw. That's your top 4. Oh, sorry, top 4 is rounded out by Colby Patterson, I should say. Now Patterson going for 3rd. He gets through on the inside of Theo Bradshaw. Certainly not as easy for Bradshaw to win the Micromax final as it was to battle for the Honda Cadet final by the look of it. So here he goes again. Ed Haynes trying to make his bid on the inside of Theo Bradshaw. Watch for Spencer as he tries to come around the outside into the boot and then back onto the home straight again. So past the pits. Haynes 5th in front of Spencer, behind Bradshaw. But your leader is that man, Emerson McAndrew. A really solid race. Here comes Colby Patterson. Now he's going to go for 2nd on Jensen Chalk. Chalk holds it round the outside. Lovely defence from Jensen Chalk as Emerson McAndrew holds the lead up front. Drifts a little bit wide in Ashby, but nothing to panic about. Chalk is 2nd. Patterson is 3rd. Then Theo Bradshaw, Edward Haynes and Oliver Spencer. 6 drivers all in the hunt for victory. Separated by 1.2 seconds at the flag the last time by. I should say at the line, of course, because the flag hasn't come out yet, but certainly these 6 drivers all hunting for victory, and Kian Bernard trying to stay with them just in case a podium might come up. 4 minutes, plus the additional change, and the extra lap on top. Off the turn, down the stretch towards Christmas, and Emerson McAndrew having a great run. There goes Colby Patterson again, Jensen Chalk again resists! Terrific! Jensen Chalk hangs on. Don't you dare overtake me. Colby Patterson's running out of patience, though. He tries again, and Chalk still resists. So Colby Patterson tries for Spencer, who uses a lot of curb. Colby Patterson is still going to be there, diving up the inside. Bradshaw goes with him. So Patterson to 3rd, Bradshaw to 4th. Spencer, the little mistake, drops him to 5th. That's how costly mistakes are at this level. You cannot afford to make a single one. So McAndrew leads Chalk, Patterson, Bradshaw, Spencer, and then Haynes. Bernard is 7th from Oman, Murrow, Lush, Cormac, and Otis Cleary. So Colby Patterson looking for the 3rd place on the podium. Theo Bradshaw 4th. Oliver Spencer hoping to try and fight his way back into contention. There are Haynes and Bernard. 6th and 7th as a result of the little moment for Edward Haynes. That'll be bitterly frustrating. The last 2 minutes of time. Still a great race in the offing here in the Micromax Super Final. Can Oliver Spencer get through on Theo Bradshaw? Harry Friel says, come on, Emerson, keep pushing. He's the man in the lead at the moment. And Ben Simpson is cheering on Alex Goodson, who has had a very difficult recovery to the race. I said he was out of the race. He's not. He's just recovered a lap down from the field. So never give up, Alex. That's a very spirited manoeuvre. Oh, and there's the move on the inside from Oliver Spencer. Gets the run on Theo Bradshaw through Oblivion and Crook, and now has the nerve and audacity to gesture to Theo Bradshaw. Come on, now I've got you. Work with me. Don't overtake me. So Jensen Chalk is doing everything he can to close up on McAndrew. This is critical for Jensen Chalk. He has to be all over the back of him going into the final lap. Or if he can even find a move about nowish. Quarter past now is when the move has to come, really. 3, 2, 1. Time is up, so the next lap is going to be the final lap. It's now or never for Jensen Chalk. He's really got to push Emerson McAndrew going into the final tour. Here we go. Last lap begins here at Whilton Mill, and it's all about Jensen Chalk trying to take on Emerson McAndrew through Oblivion, through Crook, and up Fine Lady along Manuel's Bank. Can Jensen Chalk make the bid into Christmas? Emerson McAndrew certainly thinks he's going to try. Jensen Chalk goes the long way round and tries to cut back in for a switcheroo. Could have had a move there in the kink. Up towards Inkermans. Will he make the bid into Ashby? McAndrew certainly thinks he might. Jensen Chalk's trying to go the long way round and get the switcheroo. Jensen Chalk takes the lead on the last lap. Beautiful from the O-plate. Jensen Chalk. McAndrew comes back at him. They go side by side, and look at Colby Patterson. Patterson's got them both. Colby Patterson and Ollie Spencer both overtake them. Colby Patterson is going to snatch the win. Chalk dives back on the inside of McAndrew. Watch for Spencer and Patterson. Colby Patterson is going to steal the win from defeat. Colby Patterson wins at Whilton Mill. What a final lap. Colby Patterson steals the win on the final lap. Never give up. Never say die. Colby Patterson wins in Whilton Mill.
Well, what a fantastic finish to that race there for those Micromax racers. The man that started on the second row of the grid in fourth place, there he is, kart 24. Colby Patterson taking the win in the absolute dying stages of that one. Jake Sanson was going wild on commentary, and I'm not surprised. There's the man. Come on in, Colby. What a race. What a last lap for you. Did you think that one was going to come off?
Not really, but since they had such a big gap, I had no clue. But when I saw them go side to side, and then I knew it, they're going to go off. And then I went round the outside, and it was such a happy moment.
Oh, I bet it was. Jake Sanson, our race commentator, was going wild when that one played out. You started fourth, well, second row of the grid in fourth place. Going into the final, did you think you had it in you to take the win?
Yes, I did, because I've carried the pace all weekend. But like you always say, it's not always going to work your way in some races, but in half the races, it's going to go your way.
Yeah, it really did, and you had to keep your head there because it was on the last lap. It was in the dying stages. Well done. Here comes his dad. How about that? Nice one, Dad. I'm guessing that was your dad?
Yes.
Who would you like to thank? Your dad and who else?
My family and the KR Motorsport for giving me all the waft I've got.
Well done to you. Huge congratulations, Colby, taking the first place. Are we going to see you at Lark Hall for round 2 in the UKC?
Maybe, but I'm doing British, so I might clash into it.
Well, I can tell you there isn't a clash, so we'd love to see you.
I will be there then.
That's the man. Well done. Congratulations. Go and enjoy the moment with your family. Let's get the next man in. Oliver Spencer, second place. Oliver, the face says it all. You didn't think second place was going to be the result, did you?
No.
Not at all. Just tell us about the dying stages of that race. What went on in the last couple of laps?
Jensen, Chalk and Emerson. Emerson defended and Chalk tried to go up the inside and they collided, and that gave me and Colby first and second. Not where we wanted to finish, but it's okay.
Well, it is okay. You are on the podium, and sadly that is kart racing. Who would you like to thank for your weekend? Because you've obviously been fast. I mean, you got yourself there, front row of the grid. You were starting in second place, so you know that you had the speed all weekend, surely.
Yeah, we was fastest in one heat and obviously fastest in that final as well. So, yeah.
It's all right.
Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Sindri, Driver Development, Rob, my mum and dad, KR Engines, and and my mechanic Alex.
Listen, it was a great race in the Micromax there. You boys all did really, really well. We'd like to see you all back at Larkhall. You're coming up to do it all again for round 2?
Yeah.
Great stuff. We'll see you there. Well done to you, Oliver. Congratulations. There goes Oliver Spencer. Let's grab our next man in. Here comes Emerson. Emerson, wow. Look at your face. Come in nice and close. Started on the 4th row of the grid in 7th place, and you've ended up on the podium. How does that sound?
It was good. It was a tough race, and I had to work hard.
Yeah, you really did have to work hard, and it all kicked off in that last lap, didn't it?
Last lap, I think I got one of the defender moves wrong, and then that screwed me, but it was a good chance, and got back on chalk on the inside, but then we just both ran wide.
Well, it's the way it goes sometimes, but I have to say, you've obviously been quick all weekend. You've done, you've enjoyed the weekend, though?
Yeah.
And who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my dad, my mum for supporting me, DHR and Time Engines.
Lucas Blanford last raced in the UKC in 2021, and he's already no stranger to the ups and downs of competitive motorsport, both on and off the track. He had hoped this season to be racing in cars in Fiesta Juniors, but at the 11th hour, that didn't come to fruition. I had a chat with him earlier on to ask him what's been going on since we last saw him, and what are his hopes for this season now that he's back in karts.
Hi, I'm Lucas Blanford, car number 59, I'm racing in Minimax, 22 spec. It's been quite an interesting year last year. We decided to do the Whilton Mill Fast Star Championship. I think we did pretty well in that. We also did Shennington. I think we dropped into the British at the start of the year, which didn't go quite to plan, but hey. Yeah, we were hoping to go into Fiesta Juniors this year, but unfortunately, our main sponsors decided to pull out 2 weeks before first race, so well, here we are.
And you had a few test days with the Fiesta Juniors, hadn't you?
Yeah, we had a few test days. It was good. We did in pretty well. The engine wasn't fully up, so we were a bit down on power, but from what we had, I think I did pretty good. The big differences from a kart to a car is the weight transfer. Obviously, because you've got a roll cage and you've got a clutch in that, so you've got to really just get used to like different techniques and obviously different transfer between the weight and corner and speed there. Hopes for the season. Obviously, I think everyone's aim here is to win the championship. But first race back for a while, so just the main aim is top 3 maybe, probably.
Lucas, best of luck for the weekend and best of luck for the series.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, best of luck to Lucas. Let's go straight away and join your race commentator, Jake Sanson.
Round 1 of the Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship. Now we go racing, that's more like it. Up to the first corner, Dixon's got the whole shot as they go through for the first couple of corners. Is everybody going to get through? Dixon's made a good start, so has Hartley. Kilpatrick has not. So Kilpatrick has ended up dropping down to 3rd, but round the outside he makes it back to 2nd. Much better from Kilpatrick. So he recovers quickly to get into P2. And now Dan Hartley is going to try and make his bid into 3rd position. He's managed to do that. Hold on in front of Zach McDonald. But the time is ticking down, and Peacock and Purcell are the ones left behind. So Charlie Very has already got himself up into 6th position. A great start. Lucas Blanford is up into P7. So they've made moves from the back already. But now it's going to be about Kilpatrick, who leads. Kilpatrick has got through. I didn't even see where he did that. But Kilpatrick went down to 3rd, and at the end of the lap, he is back in the lead. So Kilpatrick, who won Heat 3 and the Super Heat, is now looking to win the final. There goes Dan Hartley up the inside of Andrew Dixon in a 2nd place. Great run from Dan Hartley, and now Zach McDonald is trying to move forward. Hartley has the nerve to tell Dixon to work with him, having just overtaken him. Dixon refuses and gets through in a 2nd place. So now it's Dixon in front of Dan Hartley again. Zach McDonald 4th. Then it is Charlie Very, who has got past Ewan House. Now Dan Hartley goes again. They are absolutely rubbing tyres. And Charlie Very trying to get up the inside into 4th. He might make it a 3rd for the inside line. Charlie Very, 3rd position. Great comeback from Charlie Very. Brilliant run from the 37. Charlie Very has now got himself onto the podium for the time being. Do not slow this guy down. He will not give you an inch. Charlie Very, 3rd position, having had to start this race from the back of the grid. Dan Hartley, 4th position as he goes in behind Charlie Very. They go over the line. 9.5 minutes to go still, with the additional lap after that. A very strong challenge continuing on. Charlie Very is now the fastest man on track, a 47.6 for him last time by. Here goes Blanford, making his bid on the inside line, and he gets through past Ewan House. He's clearly looked after the wrist well enough to be strong enough for the final. So Lucas Blanford now gets into P5. That won't do badly at all for him. What about Ewan House, though? He wants to come back and fight his way up the inside of Lucas Blanford one more time. So they skate through. A great run so far. Still everybody pushing on. Dan Hartley wants a piece of this. He wants to go for it again. But Charlie Very is trying to close up on Andrew Dixon. Lucas Blanford in 5th position might have something to say about all this. Dan Kilpatrick has got a 2.5 clear. So this is causing a bit of a headache for Charlie Very, who wants to get past Dixon as soon as possible and start to close back up. There goes Blanford, diving on the inside of Hartley. Beautiful from Lucas Blanford. P4 makes the move stick. That was sensational. A really good run. So now Charlie Very in behind Andrew Dixon. But Dan Kilpatrick is still 1.7 seconds up the road. Very's not going to wait around any longer. Thank you very much. P2. I'll take that into Christmas. So Charlie Very is now in 2nd. But can Very and Dixon team up now and go after Dan Kilpatrick? That is a big gap. It's 1.7 seconds. Blanford is there in 4th. Maybe he can assist. Because if these three can bolt onto each other and go around the circuit together, there might just be a chance they can catch up to the race leader, Dan Kilpatrick. Dan Kilpatrick is your leader on the Lando Norris chassis for the Dan Holland Racing team. Looking good. 2nd place, Andrew Dixon. Down towards the hairpin at Ozier's. Some call it Chapman, some call it Ozier's. And up to the left. In through to the boot we go. And there's the move from Blanford. Locks and loads into 3rd position. Thank you very much. So Blanford is on the podium. And in the final 2. Talk about timing for Lucas Blanford. Just sit on the sidelines, watch it all unfold, study the other drivers. Then in the final, you know what to do. He may not have got as much track time in as much of his other contemporaries, but he's certainly got the knowledge. He was there on the sidelines watching every single race, watching every single driver. Charlie Very's got that gap down again to 1.1. Dan Kilpatrick just did a 47 flat. Very just did a 46.8. He's catching, and that's a big move from McDonald into Ashby, and he gets through on Ewan House. So a good overtake there from Zach McDonald. Ewan House in 6th position now. Well, was. Now down to 7th. And then Amy Peacock is having a look. So Amy Peacock is really going to try and make her bid to get up into the position. Dan Kilpatrick still working hard. Charlie Very, Lucas Blanford, and then Dixon, Hartley, House, and McDonald. So through they come across the line. It looked to me as though Hartley was going to make the move on Andrew Dixon. And he does, into oblivion. Nicely done. Through Crook, he tidies it up. And Dan Hartley is now in 4th position in front of Andrew Dixon. Charlie Very has been eating away at Dan Kilpatrick's advantage throughout. Blanford is just keeping himself present in 3rd position. What if he gets a chance to win the final? Blanford is absolutely eating the road in front of these two. So Blanford might still chase a victory. If these two get too close, Blanford is right there for the taking. So Kilpatrick and Charlie Very. Just waiting for the opportunity, Charlie Very. He can sense a chance. He's got the red mist after his problems on the start. But if Charlie Very can bounce back from that to go from the back of the grid to the front, that really would be sensational. And Charlie Very looks like he's lining up a move here on Kilpatrick. Can he take him by surprise? Kilpatrick may not know that Very is there yet. But as they come through off the final turn, he'll have a chance to look behind him. Hasn't done so. He's still thinking about moving forward. Look at that. Less than 1/10 of a second between them as they come through. And this will be where Kilpatrick makes his first look over his shoulder. He moves across to the racing line, having started in the middle of the road. So he definitely knows Charlie Very is there. He's just choosing not to look too many times behind him. You can't do that. You have to just focus on what's going on up the road. Charlie Very's going to launch up on the inside. Charlie Very commits for the overtake. Kilpatrick holds him off. Blanford's going to go for 2nd. Very fights, but Blanford is through. And Very is furious. Blanford is furious too. They both shake their fists at each other. What were you playing at, say both men. But Blanford is through to 2nd. Very is through the 3rd. And with less than a minute to go, it's going to be tight. We've got 3 laps remaining by my count. Dan Kilpatrick trying to hold on to this all the way. Lucas Blanford there in 2nd place, hunting him down. And Charlie Very smarting a little bit for that manoeuvre from Blanford to get through into 2nd place. Perfectly legitimate overtaking move. Nothing wrong with it. Blanford's going for the lead. And he's got there on Dan Kilpatrick. Lucas Blanford takes the lead having missed every race this weekend except the first, Lucas Blandford has done his homework off the circuit, bounced back, and with time running down to 0, Blandford hits the front and leaves Kilpatrick and Very to scrap amongst the spoils. Blandford seems to have the pace here, so if he can continue, he can just disappear up front. But Kilpatrick leaves the braking late for Ashby. This isn't enough for Very to have another go, but he's not going to get the move. This is frustration for Charlie Very now. But Lucas Blandford may just be able to go from the back of the grid to the front here. Charlie Very, 3rd position, wanted to do the same thing, but Dan Kilpatrick is still fairly close to Lucas Blandford. It's not over. Last lap begins. Here we go. And there are 4 men in the hunt for the victory here at Whilton Mill. Through the first corner, Blandford, Kilpatrick, Very, Hartley. Blandford spending a little bit too long for my money, looking over his shoulder. He needs to focus on what's coming, not what's been. Kilpatrick, all over the back of him. Blandford moves across to the middle of the road. Kilpatrick draws level. The very wide line from Blandford. Very will have another go at Kilpatrick. Not going to get through. Stalemate. Down to Osiers. Through the left. Blandford drifts a tiny bit wide. This might be enough, but Very's going to hunt Kilpatrick first. Here comes Very. He's got to go for it. He can't make it through. It's going to be Lucas Blandford. What an amazing comeback. Lucas Blandford has done it in amazing style. Lucas Blandford wins at Whilton Mill. Oh my goodness. He sat out virtually the whole weekend looking after his wrist. And what a sensible move it was. Lucas Blandford takes the victory in the final. Kilpatrick 2nd, Very is 3rd, Hartley is 4th from Dixon, McDonald, Peacock, House and Purcell. What a comeback from Lucas Blandford.
So here we are then down in Scrutineer, and as Lucas Blandford pushes his car onto the #1 spot ahead of Daniel Kirkpatrick, who made #2, and Charlie Very. There's high fives galore going on here, down here at the moment. Lucas just behind our cameraman, congratulated by his dad there, Adrian, and Charlie with the ST Racing mates there, just high-fiving through the fence. I think we're going to try and grab Lucas Blandford if we can. He's down there with his dad, Adrian, at the moment, as his dad brings the trolley in, and then we'll get a word with him, because it's been a tricky weekend for him. Didn't think he was going to make the final this morning with a bit of an injury to his wrist or his arm earlier on. You can see still wrapped up, which he injured here actually at Whilton Mill last year. So a bit of vindication for him to come back today and get the win this afternoon here. Opening round, of course, in 2023 for Lucas. Wasn't with us last year in 2022, but I think he's going to be strong in this class, Minimax, as we look to the rest of 2023. Started 9th on the grid. We'll get him over just as soon as we can. Come on over, Lucas. Come on in, let's get a word with you. Lucas, big smiles there from your dad, Adrian, big smiles from yourself. You weren't expecting that when you woke up this morning, were you?
No, definitely not. What, speechless.
You are speechless. It was an injury to your wrist, actually, that you sustained here last year that you thought was going to put you out today, but it obviously held up for the final.
Yeah, I can't feel it at the moment, but yeah, it's really good to come back here after what happened in October and come away with the win.
Yeah, really well done to you. Took the fastest lap as well. Did you feel you were fast all weekend?
Not on the Friday, but you know, as soon as it came to dry, obviously I found it difficult with my wrist, but yeah, felt rapid in the final especially.
Yeah, really rapid. As those laps went on, did you just realise it was getting closer and closer that you could actually start to do it?
Yeah, mid-race I think I was running 3rd, and then I saw the guy in front start to pull away, so I was pushing a bit harder and harder, and then they started slowing down a bit, so I just saw an opportunity and went for it.
Well, huge congratulations, full of confidence now as we look towards Lark Hall.
Yeah, definitely. Tracker, I've got quite a few memories out as well there, so hoping for a good result there.
All right, brilliant stuff. Go and give your dad, Adrian, a high five over there once again. Well done to you. There's your race winner. There's Lucas Blandford. I can see Charlie Very, the man that came home in 3rd. Come on over, Charlie. Get him over. We can just see. Well, huge congratulations there. 2nd place for you. Lucas just got the nudge on you towards the end of that race. I bet you thought that, you know, you must be kind of quite surprised and disappointed with the way that one finished out.
Yeah, he's on new tyres. He only did one race, so couldn't really do anything about it. So.
Yeah, it was quite tricky for you there. I think those Lucas's tyres might have played into his hands a little bit there. But leading for most of the race, you must have thought you had it wrapped up.
Yeah, but had nowhere really to push to. They were working together really, and then just lost it in the end. Yeah. Sadly.
But looking at the weekend as a whole, Daniel, any positives to take out of this one?
My lap times were good through the race, and then I just maybe dropped off a wee bit to the end, so maybe being a bit more consistent.
Yeah, I think you've been consistent all weekend. You've obviously got the pace there. Confident though as we look towards Larkhall for round 2?
Yeah.
All right, well, best of luck. We'll see you there. Well done to you, Daniel. Let's grab Charlie up as well then. Come on over, Charlie. Here he is, SD helmet still on. Spoke to you before the race, Charlie. You were very confident, understandably so, because fully in the mix for most of that race there.
Yeah, well, I'm not really... Well, we're happy with the result, but I didn't really expect that to happen, though. So it was really, really tough out there, and I couldn't really find how to get past and that.
I think as the race went on, Lucas started to reel you guys in a little bit, but you've obviously got the pace because you were running at the front for lap after lap after lap. You must be pleased with how you were linking things up.
Yeah, I was doing really well. I was getting all the corners right and all that, and I was catching and catching. By the middle of it, I didn't catch, but at the end I did.
Yeah, really well done to you. Anyone you'd like to thank at the end of the weekend?
Yeah, I'll thank to ST Racing, my dad to bringing down here, my team for helping me to cheer on, and all my sponsors.
Well, for our final instalment of action out on track, we take a look at senior Rotax, and this class has drawn some big names back to the UKC for 2023. Kai Hunter finished in P3 when we last saw him in 2021, but he's currently the man to beat in seniors, having won the British Open title here just a couple of weekends ago. And that's the 4th year in a row that he's done that, adding to his existing European and world titles. Lorenzo Cordell is back, and he'll be wanting to improve on consecutive P2s that he's picked up in 2022 and 2021. And after a year out from UKC in 2022 that saw him go off and pick up a European Championship crown, former senior Rotax winner KR Sports' Sean Butcher is also back. This one is set to be a belter. So let's go and join your race commentator, Jake Sansom.
So Kai Hunter, Lucas Ellingham, Lorenzo Cordell, James Lowther. Let's try this again, folks. They come around the final turn, into the tram lines. Are we going to go racing this time? That's more like it! Lights go out, and up to the first corner. Kai Hunter gets the start. Cordell in second place. Ellingham beats Butcher to the line, and it looks like the 4th place man is James Lowther. He's got a great start too. He's going to have to pressure Sean Butcher around the outside, going to 4th position. And as the field works its way through Christmas, it looks a lot faster. No wonder we weren't racing last time. Now we are. So as they slide through, a couple of drivers take it to the grass. And now they return back onto the circuit again. Is everybody going to get through? Ashby, looks like they've all just about made it. So out in front, Kai Hunter, Lucas Ellingham in 2nd place. 3rd place, that is Lorenzo Cordell. And in 4th is Sean Butcher. So Isaac Lord is already in trouble. Here comes Sean Butcher, making his bid on the inside of Lorenzo Cordell. Thank you very much. 3rd place for Sean Butcher. So Ellingham all over the back of Kai Hunter. Kai Hunter is really struggling, but Butcher is going to assist Ellingham. Here they go. Trying to go round the outside into Christmas. Kai Hunter is keeping that cart as wide as a Cadillac. Through they come. Up to the braking zone for Ashby. Ellingham dives, and they both drift wide. Oh, that was inevitable. But surely who's going to take the lead now? It's going to be Butcher. No, it's not. It's the 259. It's Stephen Letts. Ellingham spins. Ellingham spins off. Oh, my goodness. Lucas Ellingham spins it at Osiers, and that is devastating for Lucas Ellingham. If you snap that kart in half, it would have bad luck written through it like Blackpool Rock. Lorenzo Cordell, 2nd position, but Stephen Letts finds himself in the lead. Who would have guessed it? Stephen Letts, who hasn't really been racing at all since 2019, decided to make the comeback here this weekend, and he's now leading the final. That is unbelievable. And over the grass, that is a bit of an issue for Stephen Duncan. who has drifted off the road. No, sorry, that is the 9. That is Jack Lilly. So Lilly has made the mistake, gone off on the grass and recovers. But Letts is your leader. Caudle in second. Third is Brown. Any predictions you might have had as to who was going to win the Senior Rotax final is completely out the window now. Diving up the inside. That's a very brave Charlie Pritchard. And that's James Lowther now getting the move on Tristan Rennie. I tell you what, there has been quite a few weeks where we've seen quite a lot of squabbles in a Senior Rotax final. This isn't the first time in 2023 there's been an absolute war on the final. Tristan Rennie run out to try and on the grass and goes airborne. Manages to cut back in, but he's at the back of the queue. Oh my word. This is a relentless race. And we've got a car having spun off. That's one of the Mad Crocs has gone. So one of the Mad Crocs has gone off there at Ozier's. I can't make out who it is. I think it's Zaki Hussein. So Zaki Hussein out of the race. Oh, and that looks like Pearson Bullock Carter's gone off. Pearson Bullock Carter, one of the drivers battling for the victory, is now dropped out of the top 10. But Charlie Pritchard now wrestling with Matthew Lambert. What is going on? And that's another retirement. Who is that that's gone? That's the 71. Is that Purchase? Sorry, yes it is. It's Leo Purchase. And Kai Hunter has just dropped out of this race. That is devastating. But Kai Hunter is out. Lachlan Robinson has dropped down the order to 17th on that lap. Tester down to 21st. Mackerel down to 23rd. As drivers continue to make moves around the circuit. But even Stephen Letts is not safe out in front as Rennie gets the move there on the 20th. Theo Fedrick. And I think Philip Rawson got there first. Leo Brown going for the move. Can't make it happen there. But here comes Lorenzo Caudle. He's going for Stephen Letts. And he takes the lead. Lorenzo Caudle hits the front of the final. But here comes Stephen Letts back for more. Thinks about it in the toe. Bails out. Still a long way to go. 6.5 minutes. Don't worry, Stephen. There will be other opportunities. There will be other overtakes. Here comes the first attempt. He's going to go with Leo Brown. And they storm past Lorenzo Caudle. Perfect. Stephen Letts back in front. Here comes Leo Brown. Takes the lead from Stephen Letts. Up on the curbs goes Lettsy, and now Caudle comes through in a second. 3 different leaders in one lap. First Letts, then Caudle, then Leo Brown. So now he's going to try and make his bid up into 3rd position on Stephen Letts. Here comes Sean Butcher. He attacks, and that's a fair dinkum move for Sean Butcher into 3rd position. So now he's going to charge after Leo Brown and Lorenzo Caudle. Butcher is 3rd. Letts is 4th. And who's that in 5th? That is Stephen Duncan. Stephen Duncan has just been quietly getting on with this in 5th position. A great charge forward from Stephen Duncan. Excellent work for him. So the battle continues to rage. Now, for some reason, Andrew Hughes has popped up in 1st position briefly, but he's now been removed back down the order again. There goes the move up the inside from Lachlan Robinson. And the other Australian in the KR Sport awning is doing a great job. Dives through, takes the place. Ellingham goes with him. So Lachlan Robinson. Oh, that's Butcher into 2nd now. Butcher's got past Caudle. So, on the day of the Australian Grand Prix, Sean Butcher is trying to bring out Australia Fair here at Whilton Mill. Can he work his way through from 4th? He's going to make a late bid. Oh, what a move! Sean Butcher! What an overtake into Christmas! The last of the late breakers. And Sean Butcher slices into the lead. Now round the outside, Brown is going to have Caudle. Caudle's going to dive through. 2nd place. Butcher's trying to protect. Butcher over the curbs. Oh my goodness. What a battle this is now. Butcher, Caudle, Brown, Letts. Any one of them could win this. All 4 of them have been in the lead at various points through this final. But can Sean Butcher do it? Caudle 2nd, Brown 3rd, Letts 4th. All of them have what it takes to win this. But this is going to get feisty. Round the outside, Stephen Letts on Leo Brown. Oh, beautiful. Stephen Letts in a P3. Butcher now going defensive. Holds up Caudle. There goes Letts in a 2nd. And now Letts and Butcher want to win this in a rout. 1 and 2. Don't ask Lorenzo Caudle and Leo Brown for cooperation. They aren't going to give you any. But Sean Butcher leads from Stephen Letts. Lorenzo Caudle 3rd and Leo Brown in 4th. I'll tell you what, the KR Sport team are grinning from ear to ear right now. tucked up behind Lorenzo Cordell. They're going to lose ground to Stephen Duncan here. Stephen Duncan is going to catch them if they're not careful. But the two KR Sports up front are now going to battle for the victory. I wonder who's going to get it. Will it be Sean Butcher, the Aussie superstar, or will it be the comeback kid, Stephen Letts, in second place? There's only one rule in karting. There are no team orders. There are no team championships in British karting. There's only one rule. Do not take out your teammate. And Sean Butcher in the 101 is ahead of Stephen Letts in the traditional 259. Can Sean Butcher hold off his teammate? Here we go. The last lap begins. And this is all going to be about what Stephen Letts does behind Sean Butcher. He's got a chance to win. He wants to win. So does Sean Butcher. There is absolutely no team orders. There is no obligation to stay behind Sean Butcher. And Stephen Letts knows it. Here they come. Stephen Letts power slides down to Ashby. Gets his way through. Sean Butcher still the leader. Butcher knows he's there. This is going to be a rip-roaring final couple of corners. Letts is building up to something. Sean Butcher down the back straight. Can he hold on in front of Stephen Letts? This has been one of the most incredible senior Rotax finals I've seen for a long time at Whilton Mill. And it's going to be the Aussie. Sean Butcher is the Australian fair across the line in first. Oh, beautiful. Sean Butcher, the Australian fair, here at Whilton Mill. And how about that for a handshake? Butcher and Letts, first and second for KR. Lorenzo Cordell in third. Leo Brown has to be content with fourth. And all four of them are covered by less than a second of the flag. Tell me you're going to see a better senior Rotax final today. Tell me that you're going to see a better karting final in senior motorsport today.
Well, how about that? It went off like a family-sized box of fireworks in the senior Rotax race. Sean Butcher, the KR Sport driver who we haven't seen in the UKC, coming back with a win. And how about that with his teammate 259, Stephen Letts taking second. He was 8th on the grid coming into it. I think I'm right in saying Stephen hasn't been in a kart for about 5 years. What a phenomenal race. Commiserations, though, must go to Kai Hunter. He's been superfluous all weekend. Started on pole, but on lap 3, it was an incident, I think, with Lucas Ellingham that was the catalyst for all kinds of chaos that saw everything just sort of play out in the way it did. 2 or 3 laps of absolute chaos, but in the finish there, Sean Butcher was the man that kind of got the job done. He's run miles away, but we do need to go and grab him. We've got to get him for his winner's interview. We'll get our second place man up first. Come on in here, Stephen. Stephen, fantastic result for you there. We're going to try and grab Sean. He's gone down to your KR Sport team down there, but I mean, what a race, what a result for you guys out front.
Yeah, wasn't really expecting to be in the lead at any point because I've been struggling throughout the weekend with strength more than anything, but yeah, I think I dropped that to 4th and then I had to get my rep back a bit.
Just tell me, am I right in thinking that you haven't been in a kart for a few years?
Yeah, 4 years was 2019 and then the time before that was 2018, so yeah, just happy to be here.
Absolutely phenomenal, really happy to be here. Second place on the weekend. Is this the start of a season for you? You can do all the UKC rounds?
Well, I wasn't really expecting to, but after that, it'd be hard to say no, wouldn't it?
It really would. We'd love to see it. Huge congratulations. Get Sean in as well. Well done, Stephen. We'll see you next time for sure. Sean, come on in, my friend. How about that? I haven't seen you for a year, but you're back, and you're back with a win.
Just about, yeah. It got a bit squeaky at the end there, but yeah.
Let's just try and unpick what went on in that race, because Kai Hunter put it on pole at the start. Obviously, he was leading for those first few laps, and then something went on about lap 3, maybe, and then an incident, and then he was off, and then suddenly, you know, you were one of the benefactors.
Yeah, to be honest, like, I think Kai got really unfortunate. It was coming down the hill, he was in the lead. He was defending and then someone still tried to move on him and he just got completely caught out by it, and then later on in the race he got harpooned again basically. But yeah, I didn't really benefit initially from it, but the second crash I did.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, you know, that's racing, that's karting. You still had to keep your head, you still had to get the job done, and it wasn't cut and dry for you. For a big portion of that race, it could have been anyone's.
Yeah, to be honest, like when all of the crashing result like unfolded, I think I lost a little bit of pace and probably overheated the tyre a bit, but we still came through strong in the end.
Fantastic. And we haven't seen you in UKC for a year now, but you've had a good season elsewhere last year.
Yeah, last year was pretty good, but this year looking to be even better.
Well done. Here's Lorenzo. Come on in, Lorenzo. Congratulations, mate, on the podium in third. I mean, could have been anyone's race. Could have been first for you as well.
Yeah, it was just a shame that midway through the race when I got into second, I had a collision, and I think that upset the car a bit of damage maybe, but it's a good race considering I haven't raced in 6 months, so.
Yeah, exactly. You've been strong all weekend, so, you know, is this the tale of how it's going to be for the season for you?
Yeah, I hope to have a lot more strong weekends this year, because last year I come second in the championship, but that was with a lot of bad luck, so hoping to go one better this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm right in saying you've been second the last 2 years, so surely one better this year.
Yeah, that's the plan.
But what a field in the senior Rotax. Some great drivers, some strong contenders that you're up against.
Yeah, definitely British champions, European champions, world champions that I'm up against, so it's a good weekend.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Kato from Kato Motorsport, Fiber King, KR Engines, and everyone that's helped me this weekend.
Well, Lorenzo, huge congratulations on the podium. Well done once again, third place on the day.
Well, that's it from the opening round of the 2023 Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship. Huge congratulations to our 6 class winners who have now put themselves at the top of the championship standings with 1 round down and 5 to go. And how about that senior Rotax race? Our most experienced and fastest drivers serving up some incredible excitement there. From here then, the championship moves at the end of the month, end of April. We'll be heading to Lark Hall in Scotland, and we would love it if you could join us up there. Until then, though, from myself, Kev Harris, and all of the team at Whilton Mill, see ya.